Okay, I want to go back a little bit. So let's say that somebody is listening right now. They're fired up. They just heard you get after it. They're like, all right, Kendra, I'm ready to go. But they kind of like don't know what to do. They're like, listen, she did it with $500. I got $500. If you were giving them a little sprinkle of magic, what would you tell somebody who had $500 to spend? What businesses are you like? Why aren't you starting that business right now?
Yeah. I mean, look, you've got to, I love this where you kind of look at like, what are something that brings you incredible joy? And what is something that breaks your heart? And the intersection of those two things may be your why. Okay. And when you start to think about that, it's like, what is something that I am so passionate about that I cannot find, or that I want, or a problem that I know needs to be solved that maybe I could solve it? Because if you have passion and purpose behind your idea, it's going to get you through those really rough days, because entrepreneurship is not for the faint of heart. Okay. So you've got to have a real why and a real purpose. And that's why I love kind of those two elements, because for me, it's like, what matters to you? What really matters to you? And for me, it was like, I knew I wanted to be, I loved fashion design since I was a little girl, loved it. My aunt was a fashion director, and she just brought me into this world where fashion was magic. And the reason I loved it is it wasn't about how it made me look. It's how it made me feel. Because I could be a little girl from Wisconsin and put on my aunt's Donna Karan jacket and some of her amazing jewelry. And all of a sudden I was like somebody else, I could be anybody I wanted to be. And so fashion was important to me. But I started this business with a newborn baby. And I was like, I want to have a business that allows me to be a present mother. I want to be a mom first. I didn't want to have the conversation of work-life balance. I wanted my family to be part of my business and create a business that allowed other moms and dads to be able to be for their families first and have a great career in the making. So it was all those elements, put together that really helped me kind of form this foundation of what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And then giving back was huge. I lost my stepfather to brain cancer. My first business was a hat company. I created headwear for men and women undergoing chemotherapy. He inspired that business. People were not buying hats, Codie, okay? I wanted it to be the thing. I opened a little hat store called the Hat Box here in Austin. I was 19 years old. I ran that little store 5 days a week. I helped a lot of people, but I wasn't making money. And I had to close that business. It was a huge failure for me. But I knew there was something there about what I was doing. The purpose of what I was doing mattered. And so if I got into business again, if I would be brave enough to get into business again, I wanted to be able to have those elements, to do something that I love with all my heart, to be able to have family as the focus and the heart of it, and be able to give back in a meaningful way. And that really was the foundation of Kendra Scott, and where we were able to form a product that made people feel good, look good, and do good at the same time.
So good. Yeah, I don't know if I told you this, but I've been wearing Kendra Scott jewelry since since the very beginning. I got to send you a picture of it. I've found kind of I guess it would be a vintage Kendra Scott.
I know. It's sad when that happens now, Codie, because people are like, I've got my vintage Kendra Scott. I'm like, oh man, that makes me feel so old. That makes me vintage.
It's timeless.
I know.
Timeless. And quality. Because what jewelry do you keep these days for 10 years? It's like only the nicest, most luxurious pieces. And then I buy a bunch of stuff that I wouldn't keep,
Thank you. I mean, I designed the collection to be a collector's kind of thing where you can pull it out of your jewelry box 10 years from now and still love that piece of jewelry, and you can build on it. We'll use similar stones like natural mother of pearl or, whatever it might be, where it'll go back to a piece that you may have bought 5, 10, now in this case, 23 years ago.
That is wild. How do we get old so fast?
I know.
Now,
I started when I was 1, obviously. So yeah.
That's right. Yes, you did. Me too. So many entrepreneurs started out as door-to-door salespeople. Sarah Blakely, Mark Cuban, you. Do you think that you need to be good at sales in order to be a great entrepreneur?
I think you've got to represent your brand, and you've got to be able to articulate the why to people and really show people the passion behind what you're doing. It doesn't mean that you don't have to be a great salesperson, but when you're authentic, you will be a great salesperson. When you authentically love what you have created or what you're building or what you're doing, you don't have to be good at sales because that passion will come out naturally and authentically. So that's why I always tell people, if you're just doing something to make money, people will smell a fake in a minute when you walk through and try to do your sales pitch, because it can just feel, the ones, they feel a little slimy, they feel
thirsty.
Yeah. But when you go in with something that feels really authentic and real, it really translates really, really well. I mean, I went door to door with literally Kate and that little baby Bjorn and this tea box full of jewelry. And I was here in Austin. I think in Texas, it works better than maybe if I was in LA or New York, they may have called security on me. But, here they were like, oh, honey, give me that baby.
Exactly. It might have helped your sales.
Oh, 1,000%. Kate helped. He was giggly, sweet, happy baby. He's 23 years old now, but he was a great sales associate. It's a good trick.
Does he get a cut?
And babies.
Does he get a little?
He lives a great life. This kid isn't
doing fine.
This kid's not suffering. Okay, Codie.
You're like, calm down. He's fine.
He's good. He's good.
So what makes a good salesperson? You mentioned authentic, but if you were like, all right, if you want to get good at sales, this is what you need to do. What would you say?
Well, I think you need to come in and you need to articulate what it is you're trying to sell in a very short sentence, right? Be very clear, be very concise with your pitch and eye contact. And then ask questions. If they're saying no to you, this is the greatest opportunity for information. To me, that is on in the mirror, meaning the conversation has just got it started. So you say, no, you don't want the collection. I go, okay, well, what didn't you see today that you would have liked to see? What can I show you next time? Because I've already now setting the appointment for the next time I'm coming back. When I come back in spring with my next season, I'd like to know what I could bring that you might be more excited about seeing. What other designers are you buying that you're really excited about? Can you tell me what it is about them that you like? So all of a sudden, my sales call became this information source that I'm now going to take back with me and learn from and then come back to. And I promise most of those no's turned into a yes because of that. I didn't go, okay, oh, you don't like me? Okay, bye. And I'm never going to see you again. It was, I'm going to learn and I'm going to win a yes from you. And I'm going to keep trying. And I would said cupcakes and cookies to buyers in the early days. If it was a spring theme, I'd send like bird-shaped cookies or flower-shaped cookies and handwritten notes. And I had one buyer from Neiman Marcus. She called me one time and it was like, years, I want to say, like 4 years or something. She finally was like, I've gained 11 pounds. Will you please quit sending me cookies and cupcakes? But I want to come in here and talk to me and come show me your collection. She's like, I love everything that you're doing. She's like, I was in church on Sunday and 6 girls in front of me were all wearing Kendra Scott. And she's like, at that point, she's like, the scale was talking to me and God was talking to me. She's like, come on in and show me what you got. But I mean, it's part of it is that persistence of like taking no and figuring out how to turn it into a yes and doing it through really getting that feedback from whoever it is you're selling to.
That's great. Do you teach, when people come into Kendra Scott, do they get like a Kendra Scott sales lesson? Like, is this something you teach the team about a certain way that you guys sell?
Yeah. So we say connection over transaction. I tell my team all the time, you look in retail stores and they're like, oh, the SPT and the UPT and all this stuff. And it's all data driven. And their teams are just so much on like, how many items per transaction am I selling? And they become almost robotic. I take all that and I throw it in the trash. To me, brick and mortar is a place for connection for brands, for people to get connected to your brand, to experience your brand, to become in the world of what it is that you're creating. So the goal for the people that you have in those stores is not to sell. I'm going to say it again. The goal for the people that you hire in your retail stores is not for them to sell. It is for them to connect. It is for them to make every single human that has taken the time out of their crazy busy schedule, who decided to walk through the doors of your store, which is a gift, by the way, to make them feel loved, welcome, appreciated, and have the time of their life. Whether or not they leave with a yellow bag that day or not, if you've created a real connection with that customer, you will get a customer for life. She will share that experience with all of her friends. She may go online later when she's in bed after she put her kids to bed and go back on and shop online. But we have made a real connection. And if your retail stores become that place of connection, brands can absolutely blow up. But when you're focused solely on transaction, those are where you're going to see the for lease signs coming up real soon.